Hello everyone, it is Twintuitive 717 and I just want to thank everyone for choosing my video and for tuning in to my messages. So yesterday I posted a video for our Divine Feminine Collective, and it was in regards to support about the feminine choosing to push forward on the twin flame journey with or without feeling that energy of being in union with her divine masculine. And so I felt like I really wanted to come on and confirm a lot of the messages that some of us divine feminines may be feeling in regards to the twin flame journey. So earlier on in some of my videos, I did mention the idea of being in union. Now, a lot of us get worried about that thought or idea about union. And for me personally, I believe union happens as soon as you come into recognition of who your twin flame is. And so I think union's already started, because what ends up happening is that we go through the pull and push aspects of the journey where we repel each other with certain behaviors and we make each other grow spiritually through certain things that end up happening in the connection. And so that's why the push and pull ends up happening, because I talk a lot about also our twins triggering us more than anyone else can. So that's why I feel that a lot of us struggle within those periods of separation, because it's hard to understand why we experience such an intense love with another person and then have to go through experiences with them that ends up hurting us more than anything else we've ever experienced in our lives. And I feel like that's because the twin flame journey is asking us, because we all do have free will. So if we are triggered by the twin flame connection with another person, it's the universe asking us if we'll take on the challenge of destroying earthly paradigms that are currently set in place when it comes to men and women loving each other. So I think what's hard for the feminine collective to deal with is just separation from another person, because again, with the conditioning of being raised with the idea of true love and how that all unfolds for us, it's not the same for men. And so I think right now is a time for us feminines to realize that it's okay to change the happy ever after ending. It's okay for divine feminines to feel empowered with the idea that they can accept an experience that's happening to them with another person, but we love ourselves so much that we become our sole priority. So if something doesn't feel good, even if it's an intense connection, we have to let go. So although there's all of these things set in place that tells us, wow, this is such a great romantic, loving experience, if there's anything in that entire experience that sets off any red flags, we're now starting to let go, because now we're trying to create the perfect harmonious experience of a man and woman relationship, right? So it doesn't matter with gender here. The whole idea of balancing is having like an opposite. So even if you don't call it man or woman, call it black and white, call it yin and yang. It doesn't really matter, because all of us intuitively know what it is we're trying to balance in our own lives when it comes to those two different energies that exist within us. So I wanted to continue pulling cards from the Goddess Guidance deck for our feminines that are going through this energy of experiencing this intense love, but then also having contact with their divine masculine that is either very toxic or negative, and you're, as the feminine, because you're wanting to be supportive and that's the energy that you resonate with, you're experiencing a lot of the purging of toxic energies that your divine masculine is doing. And who better to receive it all than the divine feminine, because you can transmute it in a way that you can offer his energy guidance when it does come time to reconcile or for you to both speak again. The feminine feels more empowered to address the conflict between her and the masculine, whereas partners in his past have swept it all under the rug because they just want reconciliation for the sake of continuing on in a relationship that pleases the eye of society rather than pleasing the hearts and minds of individuals seeking out their own path on this planet. So that's what both twins are really dealing with, right? We're dealing with our own free will and what it means. Do we follow the earthly path of what we've been born into and grown up and conditioned to believe, or do we set our own path on the twin flame journey? So while I hold the cards, I just ask for goddess guidance energy in regards to our feminines. I know a lot of us are pushing forward and spending more time taking care of ourselves, our health, our hygiene, our homes, our spaces. We're decluttering. We're really just checking in with ourselves a lot more and finding out about our passions and what we used to love and do as girls and young women, and what had inspired us before this twin flame journey kind of flipped everything upside down. So goddesses, I ask for your divine guidance in this reading, and know that our divine feminines are listening and our divine masculines are also listening in terms of knowing where their feminines are so that they can pick up on the positive energy to help guide them at this time. I love sending, love to our masculines also in these readings, because I feel like a lot of them do tune in, whether they like to admit it or not, because they want to know. They want to know where we are in terms of the connection, right? Because sometimes they might want to approach us, and they don't necessarily know how to approach us. It's like they want to do it in like a playful way. They feel like they should do it in a serious way, where they might say they might send you an instant message where they just like say your name, ... And you're like, okay, here they are being serious. So, yep, let's just continue on here, getting some cards for our divine feminines in terms of just pushing forward and trusting the journey, understanding that our divine masculines know at this time that we just have to do whatever it is we have to do to feel good about ourselves, feel healthy. A lot of us too are reaching out to each other and supporting each other in the YouTube videos and a lot of forums that we're tuning into, whether it's on like Facebook or whatnot. And I think that's really nice, because it's nice to know that we're just not alone. I think that alone provides like some comfort with what we're doing. So, oh, my Hanuman fell. Just let me pick him up here. There we go. Okay, so I think I've got enough here just to put together. I trust the cards, guys. So whatever comes out, I love putting them all together and coming into my knowing about what it is that's going on. And as you can see, I love holding on to the cards too while I'm doing the channeling of messages that I feel. Just to help the feminines continue to keep pushing forward. Okay, Hanuman, what's going on here? You're not wanting to... Maybe you want to be away from me. You're like, you tell your messages. Okay, I need to be away from you while you're doing these hand gestures. Okay, so I want to put together right away true love. Of course, that has to come out. So Genevieve here that says, the true romantic stirrings in your heart have propelled the universe to deliver great love to you. So right away, I think it's just the whole twin flame connection, because what happens is we keep looking to videos and for confirmations of our own intuition, because I think we feel what's happening in our heart and our minds, right? The love and connection that you feel to this person just doesn't go away. No matter what you do, no matter how much time goes by since you've met them, they just don't go away. And how you'll know it's the twin flame connection is the telepathy. So there's not a day that goes by where you're not connecting with this person in your head and in your mind. So you're having full out conversations with them about your future, about your past, about conversations you both had. These are all signs that you're connecting on a level of telepathy that's just undeniable, right? Guys, I'm going to pause the video because I just noticed my battery is low on my laptop, but I know which card I've got here, which is Genevieve True Love, so just give me a second, I'll be right back. Hey guys, I'm back. So sorry about that. I know I should have been prepared, but it's just with the channeling, it just kind of comes on you with the messages that need to get out, and so I just started shuffling the cards and recording as I felt the messages come in. But anyways, like I was saying, the whole twin flame journey just tends to come on to us with dreams and synchronicities, and there's just certain experiences that you can't necessarily explain to anybody else. I know that sometimes there's synchronicities that end up happening to a lot of us, and you'll stop for that brief moment and be like, oh my god, I can't even tell this to another person just because of how crazy it is. Or there's so many synchronicities that happen to you in one day that it's just turned into you looking away and just smiling at the clouds or the sky or the air because of how often it ends up happening to you. So what I want to say to you guys when this card pops out at me is, if you're having a hard time or you're feeling a lot of anxiety about the twin flame journey and what's happening, trust that it's your birthright to be happy in this world. And as soon as you're born into existence and you are experiencing life on this earth plane or Gaia, she's a feminine energy, and there's so much blessings and nurturing to go around on this planet. I mean, look at Guinevere. I mean, she's just holding such a nurturing stance. If you can kind of tell the way her arm is positioned too, it's almost like the way we would cradle a baby. And so I feel that all feminine energies need not worry. When you express your truth and your ability to love someone else deeply, don't ever feel like you're being punished for that, no matter how unhealed that person may reciprocate your love. That does not speak any truth about who you are. It speaks volumes about the kind of healing that they need to do within themselves before coming towards you. And you're triggering it within them because they've also been blessed to know you in this existence, and you're also teaching them, right? So that's what I feel comes up. Don't be ashamed of your ability to love another person, and don't let any other person or whoever you might share your journey with convince you of earthly templates that twin flames are trying to break. So don't let anyone ever make you feel ashamed of loving as hard as you do. So sometimes people might make you feel like you're crazy or you're a doormat or you're just too attached. I hear that one. You're too attached or too codependent on loving someone. Guys, to love someone without conditions is so strong. I can't even tell you. It's such a strong vibration. But the thing that we feminines need to do is draw boundaries, right? Because that's what happens is when we love too strongly, you'll find that people attach onto those energies or latch onto those energies really, really easily, and that's what ends up making us feel drained and feeling negative about our ability to love, is because people are taking from us. So we've got to draw boundaries, right? Like right now I'm glancing over and I see Easy Does It. There is no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing. So if you've got a twin flame connection, ow, I just bumped my elbow, so maybe that was like my guides being like, nudge, get this message across. So it's like Easy Does It with your time and your energy, right? Because even though you may love another this intensely, you deserve that much love. Like the same love that you're pouring into a twin flame connection, you have to be able to pour it into yourself first. So Easy Does It when you do go pouring in to another person, because if they don't reciprocate it, that's when we end up feeling tired, drained, resentful. It's because we're meant to have that balance, right? So give and get, as above, so below. We have to be able to feel as abundant as we as much as we give abundantly to others. It's all a balance, and we don't ever give without understanding that we have to be able to receive from this person. And it's okay to send your love out. If it doesn't get reciprocated, you live and you learn, right? But the important things for us feminines to understand is that we can't rush things, or we can't force other people to be in a certain space, or force them to experience the journey in the way that we are. If it's meant to be, they will experience it in their own magical ways, and that's how it'll all come together. I see past life here as well. So if you do have a connection with a twin flame, there's no way that this is not going to come up at some point in your journey, whether it's through dreams, songs, or visions or flashes. So what ends up happening is with past life connections, and this all ties in with just getting us divine feminines to trust the connection even when we're in separation, is your dreams will appear in another time or era, or your memories of your twin will end up coming across in synchronistic ways, especially with like dates and visions that you may have about you experiencing certain things over and over and over again. So sometimes you might find in telepathy, or having the same conversation or the same argument over and over, it could tie to a past life theme also that you've had together. So let's say, for example, you and your twin are both in karmic relationships, and it's not that easy for either of you to walk away from those karmic relationships. When you're in telepathy, you'll find that a lot of your arguments stem around leaving the karmic relationship, and so it might just be like a past life theme that's following you both into this lifetime, that needs healing. The situation involves your past life memories. So like I said, just pay attention to the repetitive conversations that come up in telepathy. If you're feeling like you're constantly having one conversation over and over again with your twin, pay attention to what's happening there, and do that while you're in quiet time as well, because that ends up saying a lot to us. Spend that quiet time with yourselves during separation, because I always urge others to find that comfort in feeling that separation is a gift, because if we're not separate from our twin flames, we're not able to explore what it is that's happening. Because if we're in each other's spaces, then we're constantly trying to perfect ourselves so that we don't repel each other. A lot of the times when twin flames do connect, you'll feel that both energies are constantly in this state of not wanting to push the other away, and then that's exactly what ends up happening. So appreciate separation when it does happen, and take the quiet time. Take some quiet time alone to rest, meditate, and contemplate. A lot of the times when I work with other twin flames, the first question I always ask them is, tell me what experience you've had in your own personal connection that screams twin flame at you. Like, how did you even come across the term twin flame? Because I like to encourage twin flames to take quiet time so that you can rely on your own guidance, to trust yourself, because whatever it is you deeply resonate and feel within your heart, that's often your truth. And what us readers and intuitives and empaths do on YouTube is just confirm that same truth, which is why you resonate with our channels. It's because we're confirming what your soul already knows. So take the quiet time to do that with yourself first. You'll see that she's saying shh, which is tune everyone else out and just listen to what your own heart is saying. I feel like the divine feminine is transforming at this time, because we're actually letting the divine masculines carry their loads, and we're reaping the benefits of just being able to move on positively in this journey and not worry so much about whether union is going to happen or not. Because yay, we finally realize that the moment you meet or lay eyes upon your twin flame, union's already happened. It's just a matter of, perfecting the physical connection, right? dotting the T's, crossing the I's, putting in those final little tweaks here and there. Because what happens is when you guys start physically connecting, you don't want a lot of the heavy stuff in the way. Because twins end up transforming the planet in terms of unconditional love and what it's like to be in union with each other. If you guys have ever seen the channel Twin Flame Revolution with Nicole and Dove, the way Nicole and Dove look at each other when they're channeling and talking in the videos, that's often what happens with twin flames when they actually go into that physical connection, is they've gotten rid of a lot of the heavy stuff, so a lot of the 3D programming and conditioning, the drama stuff that ends up happening in relationships. Twins end up purging a lot of it so that when they do come into that physical part of meeting with each other, being able to hold, kiss each other, the vibration is so strong that they end up transforming the world. They've got a lot of knowledge to give, and a lot of power, higher power within them. So when they come together, they actually end up, doing things like sharing together and healing the planet in that way. They want to share unconditional and vibrational love. So when the separation ends up happening between twin flames, use that time to grow your spiritual gifts. Take quiet time out and listen. Pay attention to, past life stuff. I mean, my mom used to journal a lot, and now I'm starting to remember that she would do that. And I'm realizing that a lot of the intuitive gifts I've been given have been in my family for a lot of past lives and for a lot of generations. And maybe my mom didn't understand or realize what was happening to her when she did do her journaling, but I feel like just her encouragement of having, myself and my siblings express ourselves constantly about our thoughts and our emotions. It's why we end up connecting to tarot cards and, more divine guidance out there and protection. It's because we understand that there's a greater purpose when experiences like this happen with us within the twin flame connection. So I hope that overall message ends up helping you feminines. I feel like you all are in a really great spot because you're actually letting the divine masculines explore the connections now on their own, and so you're seeing a lot of the positive results coming from that and them slowly stepping forward. Even though there may not be a lot of connection or communication in the physical, I feel like you're seeing it a lot in the music and your dreams and conversations. You might end up going out somewhere in public, like the beach, for example, on a nice hot summer's day where you're just wanting to enjoy some of the sun. And all of a sudden you see someone running by and it looks like you're divine masculine. And so those are all signs and synchronicities that they are there. They are aware of what's happening, but they're in a space right now where they need to purge. And I guess they don't want us around for what's happening right now, because it's like spiritual gunfire. They don't want us in the way. They need to purge it out and let it go. And the divine is supporting us feminines right now in understanding this so that we can move forward and just share with the world a lot of what's happening to us in terms of our... I pointed that card backwards. Sorry, guys. We have to share a lot of what's happening. I don't know why I'm doing that, but yeah, share a lot of what's happening to us spiritually, intuitively, moving forward with our painting, our music, our singing, our art, our woodworking, our mechanics, our engineering, just any personal projects that any of you are working on right now. Keep pushing forward because it's really helping you to blossom in a spiritual, positive way, and it's helping more people than you are aware of. I love you guys, and I'm sending you so much laughter and blessings and just overall positive vibrations on this crazy ass twin flame journey. Okay, I'll catch up with you guys later. Take care.